Welcome to stage 2 of the CRO Race here at the 10th edition of this race in the beautiful country of Croatia. Stage 2, what was supposed to be 114 kilometers long from Biograd na Moru to Novalja, has now been shortened to only 51 kilometers, 456 meters of elevation, and it will finish atop of the Category 3 King of the Mountain at Jovici due to the high winds entering the island of Pag and across the bridge. High winds of upwards of 50 kilometers per hour. And so in conversation with the race organisers, the UCI and the teams, it's been shortened due to safety reasons. Starting in the old town of Biograd na Moru. It's a very vibrant town, Biograd na Moru, always a very good place to visit. There's always great entertainment. It's a beautiful place, particularly the old town, a very nice place to visit. There is the leader in the King of the Mountains competition, Michal Schuren of Team United Shipping. He will be wearing that green jersey as the leader in the King of the Mountains classification. There's our Airbnb hotels, a combination of their WorldTour riders and the younger riders from their continental team appearing here at the CRO Race. There's the Croatian road race champion, that's Nicholas Gojkovic, the 21-year-old from Rijeka, heading to his hometown tomorrow. Anna McNulty in the centre, he's the defending champion, there he is with the pink glasses. Defending champion of the general classification. There's the leader in the general classification, currently after his stage victory yesterday, Paul Magnier in the red jersey. The 21-year-old taking his 16th victory of the season yesterday. There's the nautical and charter at Biograd na Moru. Very important nautical centre where regattas are held every year. Got over 1,000 moorings at the two modernly equipped marinas. Marina Cornati, best known for organising the largest nautical fair in this part of Europe. That's the Biograd Boat Show. Biograd na Moru itself, as I say, a very vibrant Dalmatian town known for sporting spirit, rich history. Actually gaining a lot of popularity amongst athletes and hosts numerous sporting events, not only cycling, but it also boasts great conditions for tennis, football, as well as a lot of water sports, including windsurfing, water polo and swimming. Well, at 2:45 local time, the riders roll out. They've got 5 kilometers of neutral before they'll officially get underway for the stage. There'll be one intermediate sprint at Jadar, and the one and only King of the Mountain of the day. That takes the riders to the finish at Jovici. Category 3, 3, 2 and 1 points will be on offer in that King of the Mountains competition. There at the back, number 61, that was Bob Donaldson, a rider from Manchester in England. He's racing for Jaco Alula. He's got that purple jersey on. He got a top 10 finish yesterday. Let's see what he can do. He's a good climber. He's got a fast finish on him as well. Potential for today's stage. There's the leaders in the jerseys. Paul Magnier leading the red jersey, the blue jersey for the points classification, as well as the white jersey. Meanwhile, Schuren is in the green jersey, leading the King of the Mountains classification outright. Well, the horn is sound. The riders are getting themselves set for getting underway. The flag is waved, and stage 2 of the CRO Race is officially underway. Jaco Alula in those purple jerseys been patrolling up towards the front. Plenty of WorldTour interest in the start today. Our Airbnb hotels, that's the team in the red and black jersey. They're wanting to try and do something on today's stage. They want to try and shake things up, and it could potentially be a day where we see a change in the general classification. It depends on how things unfold because of the windy conditions. The wind's coming onto the right-hand shoulder of the riders. They're going to be heading in this direction for the next 20 kilometers or so. The made the way through Zadar at the intermediate sprint. Then they'll swing a left, hook a right-hand side, sorry. Right-hand turn at Zadar, and then they'll be into a block headwind. In the back here, number 146, that is Filip Reha, the rider from Czechia. He's in that blue jersey, navy blue jersey, racing for ATT Investments. Number 63, that's Michael Hepburn, the Australian rider, formerly a track rider. He's an excellent track rider back in the day. Just to his right-hand side, that's the former Luxembourgish champion. That's Bob Jungels, number 32 of the Ineos Grenadiers. On this revised finish, Ben Turner could be a great hope for the final. 45.4 kilometres to go. 3 riders have managed to break away, get themselves off the front. 2 of those riders who initiated this move there from Poggi team Gusto Ljubljana. Here at the front is 1 rider from Run and Race Vibertech, that's the German registered Continental team. Looks as though that's the figure of Artur Sawinski, the 28-year-old Polish rider. Small in stature, newly crowned Polish criterium champion. Won that title just a month ago. A little bit more interest from other riders trying to break away from the peloton. 1 rider trying to bridge across solo. That looks like it's going to be a tough ask to try and bridge across. 1 rider to try and bridge across to 3 riders, but he's making light work. This is one of the riders from the 2nd division team, CRO Seguros RGA. They're a pro team. Also another rider is attempting to come across, and that looks as though it's the colours of Metex Solowat, powered by Mantel. They were in the breakaway yesterday with Casper van der Woerden. These 3 riders then working very well together, sharing the workload, the cohesion. Taller of the 2 riders from Poggi team Gusto Ljubljana. That looks as though it's Domen Oblak. .8 kilometres to go. They're tracking the coastal road. Beautiful waters on the left-hand side. Still, the rider from CRO Seguros RGA is persistent in trying to bridge across. Sawinski takes a look around, he assesses the situation, sees what's happening behind. Meanwhile, in the peloton, teams look pretty happy with the situation, what's going on, who's up the road. No one's an immediate threat in terms of the general classification going forward. Of course, many of these riders sit at only 10 seconds behind the leader, Paul Magnier. A little bit of a block as the rider from Team Poggi Gusto Ljubljana comes back, and that is Domen Oblak, the 20-year-old Slovenian. .41 seconds is the advantage. Alex Molinar has managed to bridge across. The Dutchman, who now resides in the north of Spain in Olot, has got himself across and is represented for CRO Seguros RGA. Tomšič is the other rider. He is the Slovenian rider in that gold and black kit on the gold bike. 166, that's Sawinski. Squad, German registered squad, Run and Race Vibertech, made up of Polish riders and German riders only. 162, that's Kasper Maciuk, the 22-year-old, younger brother of Philip, a team Emirates XRG with Julius Johansson up towards the front, and the defending champion Brandon McNulty. The leading trio making their way towards Zadar. 1 minute and 7 is the advantage for this trio. all working well together. You can see the way that they're sharing that workload, trying to protect themselves where possible. 1.8 kilometers until they'll get to that intermediate sprint. 5, 3 and 1 points available at the intermediate sprint towards the blue jersey, which is the jersey for the points classification. Also 3, 2 and 1 bonus seconds are available towards the general classification. Now these riders all sit at 10 seconds. So any bonus seconds that they pick up can help their cause in that general classification. Riders make their way from the left-hand side. It starts to get a little bit narrow. Draco Alula, well, they fancy their chances. Plenty of teams represented up towards the front. Once they go through this intermediate sprint in a kilometre's time and the peloton a minute and 10 behind, they're going to swing a right-hander at Zadar. Then they'll be heading into a block headwind for a fair old while. They'll be on the same road until they take the left-hand turn. With 8 kilometers to go, 20 kilometers into the headwind. Very prominent in the Polish national scene, Zawinski. Plenty of victories at national level this year, some good results, national criterium champion as well. Tomšič, only 22 years of age, the rider in the gold and black. Here at the back, number 74 in the white and green is Alex Molinar. His younger sister, Laura, is also a professional bike rider for Volker Vessel's pro cycling team. Comes from Rotterdam, now lives in Olot, and he's starting to eye things up for this intermediate sprint. All on the drops, trying to keep themselves as low as possible, as aerodynamic as possible, as Tomšič is taking a look around. He's having to look over both sides of the shoulder. If he just takes one side of the road, he'll only have to use and have to look over his left-hand shoulder. Meanwhile, Molinar's got the jump. Molinar is going into this intermediate sprint in Zadar. He clearly takes the points in the bonus seconds. 5 points into his pocket, 3 bonus seconds towards the general classification. Photo finish between Tomšič and Zawinski. There's the replay. Molinar getting the jump. Tomšič not able to react immediately, but a lunge and a throw from the line. That was close, wasn't it, between Tomšič and Zawinski? Have to get confirmation of the results of second and third. No points available for the riders in the peloton, 28.9 kilometers to go. The gap now at 1 minute and 14 seconds. The Serbian champion who is on the front. He's the rider with the red, blue and white jersey, just riding alongside to the left of UAE Team Emirates XRG. That's Veljko Stojnic. And Farmer, they move themselves forward. They're the team in that mint green and dark green jersey. They've only come to the race with 5 riders of the 7 riders that are allowed. Here is the Roman Forum and the Church of St. Donatus. The Forum here in Zadar is one of the largest Roman forums on the eastern Adriatic coast. Served as a centre of the public, religious and commercial life in ancient Zadar, which was then known as Yeda. The forum contains the remains of the foundations of the ancient buildings, the columns and the foundations of the paved surfaces, making it one of the most important archaeological sites in Croatia. We've got the church, St. Donatus, which is the most significant examples of the pre-Romanesque architecture in Europe. As we see the updated standings in the points classification, nothing changes in the top 5. 45 seconds is the advantage for the breakaway. There's the profile, the shortened profile, which will take the riders to Jovici. 51 kilometers due to the high winds. The Moru wind is causing all sorts of damage, having to shorten the stage from 114 kilometers to only 51 kilometers. The Moru wind, when it blows from the north, it can cause all sorts of damage. The bridge is closed, a new finish line, but today it's been a short, intense battle through the county of Zadar, making the way to that Category 3 King of the Mountain. ATT Investments move themselves forward, as does Michael Schuren, the leader in the King of the Mountains competition, racing for Team United Shipping. He's looking after Stolik Mihaljo. Stolik, the 21-year-old Serbian rider. While Alex Molinar has been mopped up by the peloton, he's sat up. He's left it to Zavinsky and Tomsic out front. They've got a slender advantage. They'll swing a left-hand turn, fast over the bridge. Speeds of over 50 kilometers per hour currently in the peloton as everybody's trying to fight and hold their position, getting themselves set for this left-hand turn, which will take them into the base of the King of the Mountain. Tomsic leads round, takes a look over, and it's UAE Team Emirates XRG who are roaring behind with a huge acceleration at the front from Johansson. A very, very nice gesture between Zavinsky and Tomsic, a handshake. Mutual respect between these two riders. A day out in the breakaway has come to an end. A premature end for that duo, and now they're going to try and slot themselves in, and if they can, try and help their team leaders with whatever might be possible. Elias Johansson is on the front currently. He's got Rune Hedegaards, the 27-year-old Belgian rider who's sitting on the wheel. UAE Team Emirates XRG, they're looking after the interests of Rui Oliveira today. So moving towards the front is Bahrain Victorious. Pepijn Rijnrink is the rider sitting on the wheel of Brandon McNulty. He's got that navy blue jersey on, the gold chain just swinging. Apple Bora Hansgrohe sitting a little bit further back and trying to amass themselves and get themselves organised is the Ineos Grenadiers. And the team in that orange-red jersey looking after the interest of Ben Turner. Meanwhile, this is Ian Perran, the 19-year-old Croatian rider who was in the breakaway yesterday. This climb is pretty irregular, 8 kilometers long, with gradients up and down, maximum gradients of 6%. The average of the total climb is only 2.1%, but very irregular. You've got gradients of 4, 5, 6%, then it plateaus, then it will climb again, then there's a little bit of a descent for 800 meters, then it starts to ramp up once again. The wind coming onto the right-hand shoulder of these riders, 22 kilometers per hour, with gusts of upwards of 50 kilometers per hour. There's Jacques Urschen. Well, I'm quite surprised to see the 19-year-old Slovenian quite so far back. 5.3 kilometers to go. This is Mateo Ramirez, the 19-year-old Ecuadorian rider from Quito. He's had some wonderful results at the Val d'Aosta as well as the Tour de l'Avenir. 10th place only a week ago at the World Championships in Rwanda in the under-23 road race. He's clearly got good form, and he's a rider who races for the UAE Team Emirates Gen Z squad. He's getting an opportunity to race with the WorldTour team to try and learn his trade. 5 kilometers remaining. Jacques Urschen has had a bike change and he's got himself back to the peloton, and he's trying to attempt to make his way back through the peloton to try and help Bahrain Victorious. They're looking after the 24-year-old Italian Edoardo Zambanini today. They're all amassing themselves on the right-hand side of the road, and they've got this Slovenian road race champion Jakob Ormsel, who is currently setting the pace. On his wheel, Caruso. Just behind that is Vlad van Mechelen. There is Fran Miholjevic, number 23. A little bit further back is Edoardo Zambanini, just biding his time, keeping himself sheltered. Where is Paul Magnier? Ineos Grenadiers, they've been well protected. Well, sitting a little bit further back is Ben Turner. 4.4 kilometers to go. Moving forward, Metek Solowat, powered by Mantle. A little bit further back, number 64 in the purple jersey, that's the Australian rider, the 21-year-old Hamish Mackenzie. They'll be looking after Bob Donaldson once again after his top 10 result yesterday. It's a very different proposition with a hilltop finish, with it being so irregular, up and down, and with these kind of speeds, it's going to be a different kind of sprint. Perhaps we'll see different kind of riders try and challenge, moving forward in that blue jersey, borrowing the points classification jersey off the shoulders of Paul Magnier. That is Kogut. He's looking around, he takes and slots himself in front of Moritz Kretsky, the 23-year-old German rider. They'll be looking after Floris van Trick today, the 24-year-old. Let's see what that team can do. Rune Hedegaards on the front, Ramirez sitting in the wheel. There's Tim Wellens, Brandon McNulty. Where is Rui Oliveira? 3.2 kilometers to go. Tommaso Nencini, the 25-year-old from Solution Tech, Vinny Fantini, he's sitting down the centre of the road. And meanwhile, now the Ineos Grenadiers have got themselves organised. They've got their train well dialed. On the right-hand side, they're protecting Ben Turner. It's Bob Jungels who is on the front. Behind him, he's got Kim Haidu, Magnus Sheffield. Tim Schmidt has been doing a great turn so far. Michał Kwiatkowski sits in front of Ben Turner. Don't forget, that dynamic duo delivered a magical performance into Voiron, stage 5 of the Vuelta, and Ben Turner knows he can rely on Kwiatkowski. Jungels, Connor Swift, Magnus Sheffield, Kim Hajduk. There is Kwiatkowski, the former world champion. As Bob Jungels swings off the front, his job is done for today. Soudal Quickstep, they make their move and try and use the opportunity to move through the peloton down the centre of the road. Kogut and Verbrugge, their job is done for today. Now visit Malta, Polti visit Malta in the white, green and red jerseys. They move forward, looking after Giovanni Lunardi. He's had multiple top placings in the CRO Race in the past. Can he finally try and turn those podium placings into a victory? On the right-hand side, more of his teammates start to move themselves forward, including Giovanni Lunardi as well as Mirko Maestri. Tonelli is there, just getting himself barged a little bit by Zampanini. It's all starting to get a little bit chaotic, a little bit messy. Campbell Stewart, the former world champion on the track, is looking after Filippo Zanna and Bob Donaldson. Big move, taking his opportunity. This is the Polish rider from Voster ATS team with 1.5 kilometers to go. Can he try and disrupt what has been happening in the peloton? He opens up a slender advantage, a handful of seconds, if that. He's going all in to try and take the opportunity to try and take a flyer and go for the win. Team United Shipping, they try and react, as does one of the riders from Cajarural and Visit Malta, Polti Visit Malta. Through the Flamme Rouge, 1 kilometre to go for the riders. This is going to be short-lived for the Polish rider from Voster ATS team. It was a brave, bold move to try and take the opportunity, try and catch the rest of the riders napping. Magnus Sheffield takes over for the Ineos Grenadiers. He takes a look over his left-hand shoulder. The strong rider from the USA has Michał Kwiatkowski on the wheel. Danny van Poppel, he doesn't have any riders in front of him for the lead out for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. The Dutch champion is having to surf the wheels and follow his rivals. He's on the wheel of Ben Turner, who's starting to follow Kwiatkowski, who is starting to make a bit of an acceleration. But where is Paul Magnier? Paul Magnier is not up towards the front. Pepijn Reindering now moves himself forward in that navy blue jersey. Magnier is boxed on the right-hand side. A gap opens up. He tries to take the acceleration. He's onto the wheel and just coming alongside Danny van Poppel. Look at this from Paul Magnier in the red jersey. Meanwhile, Oliveira starts to launch. Ben Turner going head-to-head with Magnier all the way to the line. Back-to-back wins for Paul Magnier, the Frenchman from Soudal Quick-Step. Magnier on this adjusted stage 2 of the CRO Race, wins for the second time, victory number 17 of his career. What a win. The way that he was able to get himself out. A roar and a cheer to the team. Paul Magnier wins stage 2 ahead of Eduardo Zambanini. Ben Turner taking third ahead of Van Poppel, Van Trick, Rui Oliveira, Bob Donaldson getting into the top 10 once again. Michael Schuren remains the leader in the King of the Mountains competition and will wear the green jersey on stage 3 tomorrow. Magnier leads the general classification, extending his advantage. It's now 11 seconds over Adriatic. From myself, Hannah Walker, I'll see you tomorrow for stage 3.